The chief, Scott Padgett, first alert weather day went into effect at 4 o'clock. Possibility of severe storms through this night. What do you see right now?
Yeah, what we see is the radar not very active, and that's okay. We never want severe weather to happen here in North Texas. But the reason we go with first alert weather days is to make sure that you're aware of what's going to happen or potentially happen. And right now on the radar, noticing one elevated shower down through the southeast sides of Ellis County. We've seen some elevated showers and storms try to get going in parts of Palo Pinto County, but as they lift their way to the northeast, they're not able to grow even more. It's a different story out to the west, closer towards the dry line. You see a number of severe thunderstorm warnings that have developed, and even some storms having tornado limits with it. There's a tornado warning right now for parts of Cottle and King County until 6:30, a little further down to the south as well, dealing with some severe storms. So the threat was there and still is there for tonight for maybe some storms that will develop, reach severe limits. There's a tornado watch in effect from Grayson County through Denton County, Parker County, and west northwest through 10. Now, what we've been monitoring, and Aaron and I have been looking at the latest data, is we have lower confidence now on the CAP's strength and the storms developing for tonight because it's been so strong. Now, a little bit better confidence, the storm coverage increasing out to the west, as we saw. I showed you those severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, tomorrow morning, cold front moving in, providing the lift. So morning to midday storms in the forecast and better coverage. So you hear me say it a lot, the CAP, it's that lid on the atmosphere. So if the updraft in these storms hits a layer of warm air, it's unable to continue upward. Now, what happens though if there's sufficient heating, or if we see a little weak spot in that layer, then we can see the storms break through that and lift even more. We're not seeing that right now. But all the parameters have been there through the day, even from this morning. There's a slight risk of severe storms from the Storm Prediction Center in parts of North Texas, up to a moderate risk off towards the west into the northwest near our Red River counties. Now, the first alert futurecast picking up on that activity. This is not initializing great, has more storms down to the southwest, but shows that we're not seeing a whole lot of activity through the evening hours. If we see a storm get going and can get through that thin layer of the CAP, then we could see some of those severe limits happening for us. But we might be relatively quiet for tonight. It's a different story going into tomorrow morning, especially between about 9 to near 11 o'clock. More widespread rain on the way as we have that lifting boundary moving through in the cold front, even into the early afternoon hours. Maybe some of those storms reaching severe limits for the potential of maybe some larger hail and damaging wind gusts. So still through tonight, some large hail damaging winds if we see those storms develop. My confidence is going down just a bit, but you can see out to the west, that's where we have that lifting boundary of the dry line holding on. So we see those storms in the forecast for tomorrow morning at a 90% chance. Then we dry out as the front moves through and we heat up. By the weekend, we're going to be seeing temperatures in the mid to the upper 90s, feeling like the triple digits, and into next week remaining hot.